Okay, so it's 3:05. A few more people might join us, but we're going to get started. So I'm going to start with, I channeled a message for everyone who's watching right now and everyone who's going to watch the replay. So doing this inner child work is going to help you become the muse of inspiration. This is the King of Wands in tarot. So by healing your inner child, this is going to really activate how powerful you truly are. I want you to dedicate the next hour, at least the next hour. You can go longer than that, but for the next hour, I want you to fully believe that time and space aren't actually real, and that you're able to collapse time for the next hour. You're going to be able to actually go back and affect the timeline of your life, to really go back and rescue that inner child. And you're going to watch how this changes your current timeline and your current energy. We're going to start a domino effect with what we do today. You're going to see these dominoes later in the meditation. I'll prompt it, and you'll see how what you go and do in the power of your own mind is going to set off a chain reaction. And you're going to find yourself with new powers activated, a new sense of confidence activated, a new sense of understanding all of the gifts that you bring to the table. A fiery confidence will rage inside of you because of the work you do today. And anytime you feel like that light is getting dim, you can put this recording back on and tap right back into that magic. This is going to not only affect your energy and the harmony you're having with other people and your own spirit guides and just your life in general, it's also going to affect your amount of abundance. This is the 9 of Pentacles. This is the woman who is not just paying her bills, but she is thriving, and she is in an overflow of abundance. She is able to call in an overflow of resources to her, of pleasure to her. She loves being in her human body. She finds that the world is her playground. And this is what we're going to activate and bloom in you through this healing today. When our inner child is wounded, we find it really hard to accept those things in our life, because inner child wounds are a lot of little different moments that happened in the past where someone rejected your emotions or your ideas or your energy. It's all these little moments where someone tried to say no and put you in kind of a little prison, even if they didn't mean to at all. It might be innocent comments, but as a child, it shut you down so much that you made this protection over yourself. You said, oh, I'm going to walk through these confines now because I was told to, and this is all I can have. And so we get a really narrow view of life. And maybe we don't even realize it because we've been walking that for so long. We don't even know. And it just gets teased when there's those edges of the comfort zone where it's like, oh, wait, I'm awesome, but I'm not that awesome. Or like, oh, I can make money, but I can't make that much money. Or I want love, but I can't have that much love, or I can't be in love with that person. So this is going to remind you that you do get to play in all of this abundance. You do get to blossom all of the desires that you want. And there's no limits. There's no limits to it. And there's no limits to the amount of stuff that you can go after and manifest in your life. So it's really brave that you showed up for this recording, or even if you're listening to it after, it's really brave to show up for this kind of work, because when our inner child is wounded, they don't want to have hard emotions. They don't want to, they want to stay protected. That's their whole job. And so going into that type of anxiety, waking up these types of memories, facing this kind of pain is really difficult. So congratulate yourself for showing up for it, and know that your spirit is only going to give you what you can handle for this first time listening to it. Your inner child might want you to just listen to this meditation so they know what's up. And then maybe the second time they listen to it, since they know what's going to happen, then they can like really get into the emotional healing part of it. So be really open-hearted and open-minded with what you experience today. And you can let it be gentle if you need it to be gentle. Or if you're ready to cry it all out, you can do that too, because I'll be holding that space for you. This is your safe container where everyone is allowing you and celebrating you to do that type of work and healing. It's amazing we can all be virtual, but if we were all in the same room, you know, everyone here would be like hugging each other and saying like, yes, sister, cry it out. So if you need to cry it out, if you need to laugh it out, if you need to like dance or move anytime during this meditation, go for it. Whatever's coming up and through you, let it happen, let it release. It might be tears of joy, tears of sadness. You might just feel like tingles. It's all good, it's all welcome. Know that you're tapping into that potential of emotional healing and energy release. And meditations are really good for the nervous system as well. When we have a wounded inner child, our nervous system gets a little messed up. So we have more anxiety or we numb out as adults. So this is a really healing practice just to rewire how your nervous system is responding to things. After this meditation, you can, I'll prompt you, but you can click off to just be with yourself, do your thing, or we'll have open time for discussion. And it's great to drink water afterwards or take a shower or journal it out or continue to cry or dance. So in this meditation, there's going to be a part where I tell you that your timeline is in front of you and that you'll be walking towards a bright light. So I wanted to show you that actually showed up in the tarot card. I had already had this written and planned for you, but then I noticed, I was like, wait, the tarot card's literally doing it. And this is the Fool card. So this is the one of the child. It's of our uninhibited spirit. So I just wanted to show you guys the visual on the card where she's walking out into that point of time, out in the galaxy. And that's what we're going to do today in meditation. So inner child healing, some of us have obvious abuse that we can point towards. That was emotional or physical or sexual or psychological. Some of us know what the pain was and where the pain is. Some of us don't know what to pinpoint. It's just really subtle. It's just moments in time where we were not loved the way that we needed to be loved. It's moments in time where we felt shut down or rejected. Everyone has some experience of that as they move through life as a child. So inner child healing is extremely potent for any person. And when we go into this today, you don't need to conjure up any memories that you don't want to see or face right now, that you're not ready for. And you don't have to make up any either. You can just see what appears. You might be really surprised. And your subconscious might also show you something that never happened because it's symbolic. And you'll see when we get to that in the meditation, they might show you just a symbolic rendition of a bunch of different moments as if they were compressed together. When we have a wounded inner child, this shows up in our adult lives as shame and guilt, self-criticism, and negative self-talk. We also get into relationships where we'll play out those wounded dynamics again without realizing it. We'll live out patterns that reinforce whatever we learned when we were little. So maybe that's, oh, I can't express my true emotions, or I can't get too angry, or I can't show someone me when I cry, or seeking out partners that are emotionally unavailable, or seeking out partners that cause like drama and roller coasters, or maybe even seeking out great, amazing partners, but we always feel like we can't fully express ourselves like in an intimate way, or like have as much fun as we want to have, like always feeling like there's some type of restraint against us. Inner child healing is also not just for like 10 years and younger or 6 years and younger. It represents any time in our life where there was a before or an after. So an innocent part of you, and then a part of you that had changed and shifted, and your perspective of the world or the way that you were being in the world got altered. So we might go into this and you might see your teenage self, or you might see like your 25-year-old self. It's any self that's younger than who you are right now, who got stuck somewhere along the timeline. And that's who we're going to go get today. So we're going to start to shift into the meditation now. So you can do this sitting up, or you can be laying down. You can have your camera on or off. Whatever's going to help you be the most comfortable in your own energy. Whatever's going to allow you to have your emotional release or your experience. I always like to do an eye mask. So if you have one of those, that's great. Or just throw some fabric over your eyes. Whatever feels really comfortable to you. So we are going to ground into the body before we set an intention. So wherever you are now, allow your eyes to softly close. Feel where your body is resting on the ground. Take a deep breath in and sigh it out. And take another deep breath in, imagining that you're filling the belly, filling the lungs, and exhaling through the mouth slowly. Keep doing these deep breaths. Feel yourself sinking and releasing into the surface that you're on. Notice your arms. Let them sink deeply into the surface that you're on. Maybe even give them a little wiggle, just allowing all of its energy or tension to melt away now. Feeling your shoulder blades press against the surface, giving them a little shimmy, telling them they can relax now. And let your head press into the surface, feeling heavy, letting go. Your neck can let go of its effort. Let your back press into the surface, and your bottom, your thighs, your calves, your feet. Let everything melt down into the surface you're on. Notice how safe and supported you are. You are being held and you don't need to exert any effort. Imagine with your mind's eye that you can trace and touch all the places where you make contact with the ground. Take a deep breath in as you trace those spots and sigh out the mouth. And as you exhale, imagine that there is now no difference, no space between you and the earth. You are now integrating and becoming one with the surface that you're on. You feel yourself relax, even heavier, deeper, melting down, being supported, being safe. And while you're here, bring attention to the spot right between your eyebrows, where your third eye is. Bring attention to your third eye. Now set an intention for what you'd like to receive out of this meditation and healing. When you find what your intention is, take a deep breath in. Imagine that you're bringing air to your third eye. And then as you exhale, imagine that that intention is drawing down to your heart space. Breathing up into the third eye and drawing that intention down with exhalation into your heart. Keep breathing and see this circular connection that's happening between your third eye and your heart space. Now we're going to call in support for you. This can be a spirit guide. It can be your higher self. It can be your older self who's in the future right now. It could be me. It could be a loved one or your partner. It can be one of your pets. So choose right now who is going to be one of your guides and guardians for this timeline journey. Invite them in. See them with your mind's eye. They are going to help protect you and support you on this journey. So take their hand and we're going to climb up a ladder. Look up at this ladder that's in front of you. Start to climb up this ladder. As you're climbing this ladder, you're seeing the room that you're in now getting smaller and smaller, starting to melt away behind you. Your support friend is climbing the ladder, either in front of you or behind you. You feel the temperature change as you climb higher and higher. You know that you are safe on this ladder. And then you see that you arrive on a platform at the top of the ladder. It kind of looks like train tracks. You feel very steady as you situate yourself on these train tracks with your support person next to you. It spans out in two directions, left or right, and goes until you can't see it anymore. The universe surrounds you. Now look to your left, and you can even turn your head. Look towards the left. Towards the left, that is your timeline into the future. Now look to the right. This is your timeline that goes into the past. Ask your spirit to highlight a time in the past where you felt unsafe or unloved or unseen or unsupported. Ask for them to highlight somewhere on the timeline where an inner part of you has been stuck or trapped. Now let this light on the timeline get even brighter. Ask it to be a beacon, for the light to get very, very bright. Now look down at your feet and notice that you're starting to float up above the train tracks. Your support person's not going to come with at first. It's just going to be you. So notice yourself float up from the train tracks, and you're going to start to float down this timeline towards that bright light. Float towards that bright light, seeing it get brighter and brighter as you get closer to it. Take a deep breath in as you feel yourself get fully encompassed by this bright light. And when you're there, when you're in the light, in that memory, in that point of time, float back down until your feet touch the ground again. Now, in your mind's eye, look around at the scene that you've arrived in. Where have you been taken? Establish where you are, what you see, what you hear, what you smell. This might be a point in time that you remember, or this might be a symbolic point of time that spirit brought you to. Look around and find where your inner child is. Where is your child self in this scene that you've arrived at? Notice their age, how they look, their body language, their eyes. Notice what they're doing or thinking or witnessing. Now see that all the time around you is now stopping. Everything that's happening in that scene has now froze. And the only ones that can move are you and your child self. If there are other people, they have frozen, and it's just you and your child self. Approach your child self. What do they need in this moment? Do they need protection, safety, love, understanding, attention? Whatever it is they need, start to give it to them. Give them a hug. Tell them what they need to hear in that moment of time. Hold their hand. What would you say to this inner child now? We're going to speak a healing mantra to them. So embrace that inner child. And in your mind, think as loudly as you can these following words. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. I love you. Look into the inner child's eyes and again tell them, please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. I love you. Tell them you are safe now. You are safe now. I came to save you. I came to save you. You were never forgotten. You were never forgotten. I did not forget you. I did not forget you. You are so important to me. You are so important to me. You are safe now. You are safe now with me. Tell them anything else that they need to hear right now. Maybe you need to explain the situation to them with your new adult perspective. Now your support person has entered the scene. The spirit guide, or your higher self, or the future you, or your partner, whoever you have chosen has now entered the scene. Everything is still frozen and it's just you, your support person, and the child. What does your support person say to the child? Watch as the person that you love gives love to your inner child. How they also say words of safety, protection, kindness. You and your support person are pouring out their love to this child, seeing them, loving them, protecting them. Now, as your support person helps hold your inner child, you are going to look around at the scene that you had arrived at. Look at the environment, look at the people that are there, look at the energy around this child. Now visualize that all of it gets squished into a ball. If there was a person that was hurting this child, if there was an environment that was oppressing this child, if there was a situation or thing or an energy, all of it now gets squished into a ball. See this black ball of energy. And you will see that there is a cord from the ball going to the child. There is a thick cord between this ball of energy and this child. You are going to grab a hold of this cord, and your adult self is going to say over and over, I release you. I release you. Start to pull the cord apart with your hands. I release you. I release you. Pull that cord apart. Notice how your adult self has the strength to pull this cord apart. The cord crumbles under your strength and under your love. Keep ripping this cord. Notice the roots that are inside of it, and you rip those too. I release you. I release you. I release you. Feel the shift as old timelines start to collapse around you, as roots start to become undone. Notice how after you've ripped them, a sparkling light can be seen finishing and dissolving all of the cord and all of the roots that have hit the ground. A beautiful light is helping to transmute this energy that you've cut off. Any of these people or situations, energies, environments, it's all being transmuted with a light of love and sparkles. You have released it, you have cut it free. Breathe in as you feel the weight of that cord release. Feel that weight of heaviness fall off of you. You cut it off from the inner child, but you feel the effects on your own heart, on your own self. Notice this cord dissolve away in sparkles and light. Go up and hug your inner child and grab the hand of your support system. You are now going to teleport to an environment that has cleansing waters, a beautiful place that feels comfortable, serene, healing. It might be a place in real life or one in the astral field. When you arrive here, you and your support friend are going to bring the child to the water. You can visualize all of the water cleaning off any other parts that have felt dirty to this child, any words or experiences or memories that left them feeling covered up. You can now bless them with this water. You can play with them in this water. You're running free, splashing, playing, swimming. I'm going to support the work that you've done with Reiki energy healing as you play with your inner child and your loved one in this beautiful space of cleansing water. Wash yourself off as well. Any dirt or residue from the past that has hurt you. Feel yourself being rejuvenated, cleansed. The waters are able to take away any of the pain, any of the residue, any of the dirt from other people's opinions or actions. Feel the temperature of the water. Feel it glide against your skin. Feel the weightless effort being held by the water. Notice how any tears add to the stream of magic water that's still cleansing you. Notice who your inner child is when they feel free, when they don't have anyone to judge them. Who are they when they're in a space of pure love, pure acceptance? What is the expression on their face when they know that they are safe and seen? What are the desires of their heart? How do they like to play? What do they think is funny? What can make them laugh so hard right now? How does your support person interact with your inner child? How does it feel to have this support person embrace your child self? How does it feel to know that you're not alone in this healing work? That you have someone else who can help love this inner child, who can help bring joy and attention and protection to this inner child. Now take one more moment to say something to your inner child. What do you want them to know? Now give this child a big hug. Pull them in close to your heart. Feel them press into you. Feel their warmth. Trace the edges where their body meets yours. And now watch those edges dissolve. Feel them melt into your heart space. Feel them become integrated to your heart space. Feel the two of you merge together. Put your hands over your heart. Press your palms into your heart space. Feel your inner child who has entered your heart space. Say in your mind as loudly as you can, I came to save you. You're here with me now. You are safe. You are loved. You are protected. You are safe. You are loved. You are protected. I never forgot you. You are so important to me. Now come check out my adult life. With that said, you and your support person float out of this scenery. You find yourself floating above those train tracks. You look down and you see the train tracks way far below you. Your feet are not on them. You see that spot in time where that light was, and the light has changed. And now you see dominoes moving from that point in time all the way down through the train tracks to your present moment and beyond. Watch the dominoes fall in sync with each other. See the ripple effects of healing. Feel how you have changed time. Feel how you have changed the energy. Watch that the dominoes fall. See that ripple effect expanding out farther than the present moment. Thank yourself for doing the work, for setting a different path into motion, even if that path is just an internal one. Now float along those train tracks until you're hovering above this present moment. Say a word of gratitude to your support person. They're going to go fly back to their timeline now. And see yourself gently floating down, down, down. Your feet making contact with these train tracks. Feeling a sense of coming back. Taking a deep breath in, tuning into the smells and the sound of the room around you. Scanning your body, feeling it here in this room. Feeling how your energy is now, your emotions, your thoughts. Place your hands over your heart space. Press your palms into your chest and feel that a piece of your inner child is there. A piece of your soul that was left behind is now back. They're with you, and they're not going anywhere. Take a few deep breaths. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Move around a little bit. Slowly open your eyes or remove your eye mask. I'm going to play a little song, just 1 or 2 minutes. And in this time, you can come back to the present moment, you can get some water, you can go to the bathroom, you can write down any notes that you want to take, you can finish a cry. And when I pause the music, we can have a little discussion. It's 4 minutes till 4 o'clock, so if you need to log out, you can. Otherwise, we can go for some extra time to share experiences or ask questions. So hopefully you can hear it through the screen, but I'm just going to play a minute or two of this song. If you feel like dancing, you can totally dance for your inner child.